What is going on, everybody? Happy Super Bowl Sunday. I just watched the halftime report, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to vomit because that camera work was a little over the top. Maybe I'm a boomer, but I do miss the days where they had the camera just panning back on the stage. You could see everything going on as opposed to being right in Bad Bunny and everybody else's face, which is a little intense. But anyway, time for this week's distribution update. So, One Piece. It looks like UBO3, I mentioned this last week, is now going to be split in two waves. The first wave is going to be somewhere around 90%. The second wave is 10%. It looks like the reason there's two waves is because there was some sort of theft in transit. So it's not just UPS and USPS. It looks like there's some big time freight theft in the stuff as well. So that comes out in 2 weeks. I think it's the 20th. However, we should potentially see OP15 allocations starting this coming week. I thought I was getting them on Friday. Was a little bit of a false start. Potentially this week we're going to get them. Now, moving on. Final Fantasy, the June set pre-orders, I think, are closed now. They were due last week. The only thing that's interesting here, obviously, the March set is the 15th anniversary set. It's also the point where they really raised the price. They raised the price like a third for 18-pack boxes. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens with the June set. They normally perform pretty well over the long term, but the liquidity is super, super light. Flesh and Blood, I've talked to you guys about this one. As much as I hate Flesh and Blood, I hate LSS. I just think they're very, very incompetent, and they send mixed signals when it comes to what they want to do with the game. We have Compendium of Wrath, which is a premium set in a game that is catered to the game piece army of cheap singles. But everybody initially avoided this set. I know a couple folks that are big single sellers. They cut their orders way down to sub 100 boxes when they're 500 plus. So I went in, ordered 300 boxes to rip singles. Pretty much sold out of the bulk of that because now all of a sudden that everybody's seen the set, they've seen the antiquity packs, they see the value. Everybody wants it, which is really, really weird for a Flesh and Blood set. There's a lot of folks that aren't Flesh and Blood players that are looking at it as, well, potentially it could have some longer-ish term value in booster box. So there's a little bit of gambling going on. But we'll see what happens. The set comes out this coming Friday. I guess all bets are off. Godzilla, I just want to touch on this quickly. So the fourth set, the order window is now closed. It closed about a week ago. BPO3, which is the third set booster box, came out. They're currently sitting at $58, which is quite good. Distribution price was like $42 to $44. It was super, super under ordered. There are some chase cards in there. I'm very interested to see what Bushi has to say about this set or about the game itself at Gamma here the first week of March. Because at some point, I am really anticipating Toho to put some marketing behind the game. Right now, it's a little bit of a niche game. It's doing well, but it could be doing better. Story of every game, pretty much. Gundam. GDO1 has caught absolute fire. The boxes went from about $150 straight up to $250. A lot of volume selling through. Looks like the Steel Requiem set, which is the third set coming out, reinvigorated the player base. GDO2, Dual Impact. It was a little bit of a weak set, and the reason I say that is when you're on your second set, the pool of cards is super, super tiny. And I know a lot of people have complained about how if you want a competitive deck, it's only a handful of decks and you need to buy all these starter decks and this and that. Well, it's like, well, no fucking shit. There's one set and a second set just came out. It's going to be narrow. You have to let it mature. Let the third set come out, the fourth set come out. And once you have a card pool that doubles in size, now all of a sudden there's going to be other options. So to say, well, this game sucks because there's only two different decks you can play, the same with Riftbound, like, no kidding. It is what it is. Like, get over it. Let the game progress and move forward. And it looks like Gundam's at that point where there's a lot of interest coming in. There's a lot of people buying the first set. The singles are all starting to move up. And I think it's a super bullish sign for the game. It really is. Let's see. Let's go to My Little Pony, just because why not? So where is it? the My Little Pony TCG is slated to come out April 18th. Initially, I was under the impression that this was just going to be the supply going out that they have in the US, but it looks like they've decided to import some products. So it is print to demand ish. Now, there's not a whole lot of demand out there for it because people look at My Little Pony and they think it's a joke. We ordered it, quite honestly, because there is a large amount of folks that are potential customers in the space, and it's probably going to be underordered because people are going to laugh at it. So, moving on. Riftbound League of Legends. So, Origins boxes are $300. They're going to smash through that number relatively shortly here. We do have a reprint of Proving Grounds coming out. I believe it's coming out in early March is a tentative date. We don't know how much is coming out. I know there was open order at distribution for the most part, but we just don't know how much product is coming to market. I have not heard anything about an Origins booster box reprint, a third one, whatever it is. Spirit Forge is coming out this coming Friday. This was pre-release weekend. Now, it does look like there's a wave 2 coming. I don't quite know what it is, but I do have 2 allocations. So I'm guessing it's probably coming right around release date. So there will be some more of that product coming to market. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. So we will see. Sorcery, still no Gothic reprint. I'm sure that's coming at some point for those of you who want it. Wonders of the First. I do want to talk about this because this is a little bit of a niche game. So the second set is coming out shortly. This is the same group that makes Bo Jackson Battle Arena, but they're interesting because they're on-card autographs. And even though it is a TCG, I don't know about this one, but I know Bo Jackson is overly simplistic. Bo Jackson is interesting because there's a lot of crossover in the sports card world and the breaker world. But for this one, they were soliciting LGSs to email them directly and reached out to them if you want to carry the product for the second set. I have not seen anything open for distribution yet. I know Southern carried the first set, as we can see here. If you're interested, that's just a little tidbit of data. Moving to Weiss, we do have the Nikki reprint coming out in the end of March. Nikki first edition is over $70 now. The amount of product on the market, it's basically $170 plus Shushu, who's a store in Florida, who has 1,500 boxes. So that thing is going to go nuts. Azure Lane Volume 2. There was a reprint of this, and I mentioned it a couple times, a solicitation for a reprint of first edition, similar to what happened with Nikki. Right after the set released, when the boxes were selling for like $44, I didn't think it was real. I didn't think there was a whole lot ordered, but it looks like this did hit distribution last week. There was certainly not a whole lot ordered. In fact, one of my distributors, I think they had like 900 boxes for all of distribution. So there is going to be some more product coming. Quite honestly, I think it's going to be too little to matter. And the box is already pushing $65. And I think the cases are $1,400. So we're going to do fine there. Freerun, again, one of my favorites. The anime continues to be absolutely insane. Was super underordered. We're back down to 140 boxes on the market. It was as high as 200. So, that's something that if you're interested, those boxes are going to be $100 and some here in a couple months. It is what it is. So, moving on, we have some really, really interesting Magic news. But let's start on Pokemon. So, as of right now, I have heard nothing on Ascended Heroes Wave 2 for the tech stickers. As of now, we just don't know. The Pokemon Day have all shipped. The Mega Charizard tins, it does look like there's a good quantity of these. The same with the first partner collections, illustration collections. Those are cool because there is a sample pack, promo pack, whatever you want to call it. There are 9 first partner illustrations. You get 3 of the 9. I would imagine at some point that's going to be a grading play because there are some big names in there. Perfect Order comes out on 3/27. I think most people who pay attention to the space know at this point that the overall quantity of booster boxes is down quite a bit. Now, a lot of YouTubers are screaming, that's because they can't print. That's because they can't print. I will tell you with 100% certainty, it's not because they can't print. It's because they're choosing to print other booster boxes with that capacity. And they will probably come back and hit perfect order at some point with a reprint in the midterm future, maybe even the near future. So they didn't all of a sudden lose 15% capacity for booster boxes. I assure you they're using that capacity to print other booster boxes. That's just the way it is. And I'm kind of laughing. A lot of folks are looking at Destin Rivals boxes at $600. And yeah, when the market goes up, everybody gets stupid. So the general consensus is they're never going to reprint it. It's just going to go straight to the moon. There has never been a Pokemon product in the history of Pokemon that has gone straight up. It's always gotten hit with a reprint. Now, some products are far more resilient than others, but it will get reprinted. It will get reprinted in scale, and it will probably get reprinted in scale within the next 2 or 3 months. Now, if I'm wrong and the boxes go to $1,000, that's great. But would I buy a box of Destin Rivals right now at $600? Is it more likely to go to $1,000 or more likely to see a reprint and drop back to $300? By the way, if there's a reprint coming, I'm going to buy as much as I can. I'm going to hoard as much as I can because it's a great set. It's going to go to $1,000 at some point. But the risk reward of buying it at $600, it's not for me. So Timmy's going to Timmy. God be with you. So Magic the Gathering. Here we go. So we have Turtles coming out in the 6th. We do have a Lorwyn Playbox reprint coming out in the next couple weeks. It doesn't look like it's huge. It looks like it's probably half the size, maybe a little bit less of what we saw with Bloomborough, which hit distribution and literally got eviscerated 3 seconds later. We have Strixhaven out. We have Marvel out. If you're interested in the numbers on this, I did a video on it last night on how Hasbro has to pull every trigger they can on reprint equity because the numbers in 2026 are so astronomically large. The number of sets they can produce don't get them anywhere close to where they need to get to. So what we found out today was PhD is now soliciting open orders for Lord of the Rings Commander. Looks like they're going to be here within the next 2 to 3 weeks, which is what I've been telling everybody for a couple of months now. It also looks like Europe just got Wilds of Eldraine collector boxes in English, confirmed to hit distro the first week of March. So Wilds of Eldraine Commander decks were not on my radar, but it looks like those are going to hit, and we're going to get those as well. So those of you out there that think 2023 product is out of print, you're dead wrong. There are no rules. This is a public company who's desperate, and they will print anything to get to their quarterly numbers. Whatever they tell you is a lie. If you guys haven't realized that by now, you haven't been paying attention or playing Magic long enough. They're going to reprint Lord of the Rings set. They're going to reprint Wild set and Ixalan set. They are all on the reprint schedule here. The reason why they haven't hit is they're trying to manage to the best way. They have to get the earnings, and then the bar in Q2 is higher. The bar in Q3 is higher yet, because not only do you have to match Final Fantasy from last year, you have to match it and you have to show growth. Plus, you have to show additional growth to offset the melting ice cube, which is the rest of the trash company, plus the growth in administrative expense, corporate expense is, if you will, because I'm sure they're all paying themselves bonuses and raises and all kinds of happy shit. So we are getting all of this stuff. It's coming. If anybody tells you Lord of the Rings is out of print, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I would question them very, very highly about their level of intelligence and their knowledge in the space. Because, even Distro has been talking about these coming for a while. They have a solicitation for an order. They just haven't had a final purchase order up until this past week. So outside of that, we're probably going to get Doctor Who commanders. We're almost certainly going to get Doctor Who. We're almost certainly going to get Fallout, unless there's some sort of licensing issue there, which I highly doubt. We're certainly going to get Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Probably going to come in Q2 or Q3. Again, the problem is when you're only putting 208-ish, depending on the size of your commander decks or your commander displays on a palette, and you can fit 700 and some booster boxes, you're getting 5 times the bang for the buck on play boxes than you're getting for commander decks. So you effectively have to print 5 times the number of pallets, which is 5 times the number of trucks and transit and shipments. And it just gets really, really messy. And it takes up a lot of space. So that being said, the reprints are coming, and it's going to be your opportunity to buy this stuff on the cheap and stock it away. Now, do we see another reprint of Lord of the Rings after this? I don't know. Now, the odds are probably less likely than more likely, but you never know. It all depends at what point they're going to have to pull the ripcord and they're going to have to adjust their earnings down. The answer is just how long is it going to take them to saturate the market with all these other products and run out of SKUs that they can reprint to effectively parachute and fill the gap. So anyway, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, and enjoy the Super Bowl. The Patriots offense looks like garbage right now. Hopefully, let's see how well that statement ages.